The moment Claire Morgan stepped into the quiet corner booth of the Portland Cafe, her hands trembled so hard she had to tuck them beneath the table. It had taken courage more than she thought she had to show up here today. Her 5-year-old daughter, Harper, sat beside her swinging her feet, completely unaware of the storm building inside her mother's chest. And across from them, arriving exactly on time, was the man Claire feared the most to disappoint. Everett Hayes, calm, polished, carrying a past that had once held her heart, and a future she was terrified might not include her child. If you believe kindness, forgiveness, and second chances still exist in this world, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. Claire had rehearsed what she'd say 1,000 times. Everett, this is your daughter. But every variation of the words dissolved whenever she imagined him turning away. She had kept the truth from him for years, not out of malice, but out of fear. Their relationship had crumbled when she was young and alone, overwhelmed and directionless, convinced that Everett deserved a partner who wasn't falling apart. When she found out she was pregnant, she panicked. She left town, worked 3 jobs, and spent years trying to build a stable life for Harper before telling him. Now, face to face with him in this bright, spotless cafe, Claire felt her throat tighten. Everett was studying her daughter with a gentleness she didn't expect, his expression softening around the edges. Harper was picking at her napkin, oblivious to the emotional cliff her mother stood on. Claire feared the moment he would realize the truth and reject them both, and the weight of that fear rested heavy in her chest. The waitress set down glasses of water and menus, but Claire barely noticed. She couldn't eat, couldn't think. Her entire body waited for Everett's reaction, like someone bracing for impact. She wanted to tell him gently, slowly, but the truth pressed against her ribs, demanding escape. When Harper lifted her eyes and smiled politely at Everett, something inside him shifted. He blinked as if recognizing something familiar in her tiny face, her expressions, her posture, her quiet curiosity. Claire felt her pulse spike. She knew he saw it. The silence between them deepened until Claire whispered the words that had haunted her for years. Harper was his daughter. She expected anger, shock, maybe even disbelief. Instead, Everett let out a breath, leaned back in his chair, and stared at the table as if absorbing a wound he didn't know he had. Claire apologized through tears she tried desperately to hide, explaining everything: her fear, her youth, her foolish attempt to protect him by disappearing. She thought he would stand up and leave. She thought he would walk away from the weight of responsibility he never asked for. But he didn't. When the waitress returned asking if they were ready to order, Everett didn't even hesitate. He looked up, cleared his throat, and did something that left Claire stunned. He ordered 2 extra plates. 1 for Harper, 1 for Claire. A full meal for the family he had just discovered he had. Claire stared at him, confused, but Everett's voice was steady, calm, almost protective, as he told the waitress to bring something Harper might enjoy. His hands didn't shake, he didn't flinch, he didn't run. Instead, he chose to stay, to sit with them, to eat with them, as if claiming a place at the table he had been denied for years. Harper lit up when her food arrived, chattering about the butterflies she had seen in the park earlier, and Everett listened with an earnestness that broke Claire's heart open. She watched him watching her daughter, noticing every detail: how she held her fork, the way she scrunched her nose when thinking, the way she tapped her fingers like he used to when nervous. He wasn't just hearing her, he was learning her, memorizing her. For the first time in a long while, Claire felt the icy fear inside her begin to thaw. The cafe felt warmer somehow, the colors softer, the world quieter. As sunlight poured through the wide windows, Everett leaned forward, his voice thick with emotion. He admitted he was hurt not by Harper, but by the years lost. He said he wished he had known earlier so he could have been there. For birthdays, for first steps, for late-night fears and bedtime stories. Claire felt guilt pressing into her bones, but Everett didn't blame her. He simply said he wanted whatever chance he had left. The restaurant seemed to fade around them, leaving a small, fragile bubble of truth and healing. Harper giggled when Everett made a silly face to cheer her up, and Claire found herself laughing too, the tension loosening inside her chest. She hadn't expected this. She had expected rejection, not acceptance. Distance, not warmth. But Everett was proving her wrong with every small, careful gesture. By the time dessert arrived, an unexpected treat ordered for Harper, and for anyone else who needs a little sweetness today. Claire realized something quietly beautiful. Everett wasn't walking away, he was walking toward them. The afternoon sunlight shifted, turning golden as the three of them stepped outside the cafe. Everett offered Harper his hand, and she took it without hesitation, skipping beside him. Claire walked a step behind, watching them, feeling a wave of gratitude crash over her so strong it nearly brought her to her knees. If this story has touched your heart so far, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps more than you know. Standing by the car, Everett turned to Claire with a sincerity she hadn't seen in years. He said he wanted to be in Harper's life. Not because he felt obligated, but because he already cared. He wanted to learn everything there was to know about her. He wanted the lost years back, not in anger, but in hope. Claire's chest tightened as tears filled her eyes, not from fear this time, but from relief. She thought he would walk away. Instead, he ordered 2 extra plates and chose to stay. Before we end, I'd love to know your thoughts. Please comment below with a heart emoji if this story moved you in any way. Thank you for watching, and may kindness always find its way back to you.